So, I guess I'll start us off. Just whatever. It was my pick, so I'll kind of get us going here. The movie I picked was Mio in the Land Far Away, 1987. Yeah, and I picked this movie because I wanted to do something sword and sorcery, but wanted to do something I don't know, you may have not seen. So, uh, yeah. What'd you guys think?
I really enjoyed it, especially from like a if I come at it from like a children's fantasy film. I think it was awesome. Like I really enjoyed it. I got lost in the film as much as it's like kind of a fast. It's a little bit fast paced. Like you don't really get any background on anything. You just have to understand it's fantasy. Like a
Yeah.
head comes out of a bottle and carries them off. And I was like, as long as I just accept the rules of the movie, I really liked it. And I see I feel like the chick that wrote Harry Potter might have been inspired by it a little bit because of the grouchy parents, orphans. He's like somebody special.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, I liked it. I kind of put it somewhere below, not because it's worse than, but just because maybe it has a lower budget or whatever it was. But it's like in the same vein as like Never Ending Story, but just like on maybe a smaller
A way
scale.
smaller. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got that vibe from that as well.
Same.
Yeah. So my introduction to this movie, which again, it like you were saying, Jesse, you kind of have to just roll with a lot of it because let's face it, it doesn't make sense for the most part. It's kind of weird. It makes a little more sense when so little background on the film. Uh, Definitely a Russian film, and in fact, in the first rolling credits of the movie, when they're talking about whatever they hired some orchestra, but it has USSR plastered all over it. So this film was partially made in modern day Ukraine, but when the USSR was still standing. Um, but it's based off a book by a Swedish author. It's a children's story. I couldn't really find much about it other than it was published in the 50s. More or less follows the same storyline as the film, except, like a lot of stuff that's translated from a book into a movie, the author hated it. It really wasn't well received, but um, in terms of my first viewing of this movie. So growing up, we didn't have cable. It was your basic 12 channels. My grandparents had cable and they would record movies onto blank VHS tapes for me and my sister. And so like anytime we'd go to visit them, we would be coming back with a huge box full of, new movies. And this was one of them that was always in there. Have no idea what channel it was recorded off of. Couldn't tell you, what it was played on. But I just remember on the rewatch that we just did, it kind of gave me the same feeling as when I was a kid. I can't really place why I liked it. It has some cool stuff in it, invisible cloak, sword that can cut through anything, like, all your fantasy tropes. But plus, Christopher Lee is a treat to see as a villain.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but um yeah, like it's not a good film really, but it's fun. It's fun. It's I think for any kid watching it where they're first being introduced to the sword and sorcery genre, like of course my favorite, Conan the Barbarian. You got your Krolls. I mean, the 80s, 70s, and 80s was ripe for sword and sorcery, but this one I don't hear too many people talk about. So I'm like, hey, let's throw it out there and see what other people think. I kind of dug it. I still kind of dig it.
Hmm.
But overall, like, I don't know. What was some of your guys' favorite parts of the movie?
Well, I gotta say, I'm gonna get to mine, but I kind of have an opposite view of Jesse on that because Jesse said it was kind of fast paced, and I found it kind of slow paced for me. I had to like put like I'm not sure if it's just my mind nowadays, but I had to bump it up to 1.5 speed because I felt like it was just going really, really slow in some of the parts. Um, it started off slow, but like as soon as he jumped on that flying spirit's beard,
Mhm.
yeah, it just transported you to that land. And I think I get where you're coming from when it comes to being a kid because I think we've all wanted to find out that we were a prince or our parents were something in a faraway land and like especially a faraway land with magic in it, like that's something I think we all
Mhm.
kind of strive for as a kid, and I loved that aspect of it. And yeah, the same vibes of Harry Potter. Like you had Aunt Edna, like she was horrible, and the visibility cloak and all this different things, the Dark Forest, like all that great inspiration. I got that same exact thing with Harry Potter. Um, yeah, honestly, I thought the acting wing was kind of like definitely 80s acting. But as kids, they did good. Like I was definitely watching them, like especially Christian Bale was like, his supporting role did a really good job in that.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
this is my first time seeing it. I had never even heard of it until you mentioned it. Did not grow up with it, but overall, I liked it. It definitely brought me back to when I was a kid, especially those films, like you said, just randomly seeing them on TV, something we never ever, would have seen otherwise. I like that, and yeah, I mean, the whole aspect of going on a quest to defeat evil, like I just really, really liked that part of the story a lot. And
Mhm.
like you said, Christopher Lee, I mean, he just he always kills it every single time he's on screen. I was kind of rooting for him a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I know this is a kid that he was fighting against, but that's me. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I have some more notes later on, but that's just like my first takeaway of the movie first time seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie a lot as well. I'm with Blaine on here where it was a little kind of slow start,
Mhm.
and then I kind of see what Jesse you're getting at where it does like a 0% job of like telling you any of the
So
reasons of like what's going on.
so
Like who's
like
Mrs.
well,
London? She just gives
Just a
him the
babe.
note and the apple and is like, yeah, take this down the street. Like,
so interesting you bring that up. Definitely agree on all points. The one thing I just had to internally laugh about while I'm watching it was, you know, Neo gets taken off to this land via 2000 Russian 2001 A Space Odyssey, like, and hanging off this giant disembodied head. It's like, okay, like a little weird, but I'm
I
running.
would have fell.
I'm following you. And then he gets there, and immediately, first dude he sees, Dad. It's like,
that's
you've
that's my
never seen this
father.
man before in your life, but okay,
Yeah.
sure.
And
The
there's
first
no
dude you met.
where the hell have you been? You know, it's just like, it's like we've never been separated. What's up, Dad?
Yeah, like what man? Where you been the last 12 years? Like missed you or whatever. So yeah, again, just a lot of stuff. You just have to be like,
Yeah.
okay, sure,
Yeah.
why not?
And once I kind of like how Jesse said, just kind of started taking the movie in for like what it is. Like, okay, they're not
Uh-huh.
going to explain really anything.
No.
It was an awesome movie. I wish I would have seen it as a kid. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah.
I would have really enjoyed it as a kid, and had I done that, it would be in every like 5 years or so. I'd probably rewatch this movie. It'd be that like
Mhm.
nostalgia. I love this movie. Um, I do think if they remade that movie today, it would be awesome. Like if they could
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
Yeah.
so
so.
too.
add some more
Yeah.
action into it and kind of do some like
A
background
little bit
on
more
people,
background. Yeah.
Yeah,
it would be an
yeah.
awesome like family film.
Another just little haha moment. I always forget how just lame and slow the big fight at the end of the movie is. Like even just thinking about it, it's like, okay, you swung your sword once. Christopher Lee, his big threatening move is just to reach out his hand slowly and menacingly, and the kid just stabs him, and it's like, okay, well, that was, I guess, boring, but somehow they made it. Somehow they did make it a little tense, I guess, with the floating fireball that moved like 3 miles an hour. But again, just not a great film by any means. But I do remember just watching it as a kid, and I think it was one of the first earliest movies outside of Conan, like that just hooked me into the fantasy genre in general. Like, we got Lord of the Rings and we're spoiled for fantasy movies, I would say, these days. But this, I remember being obsessed. Like, I'm pretty sure I wore that VHS tape out at a certain point because I was just rewatching this movie. And it wasn't until probably well into my 30s that I even realized that Christian Bale was even in this movie. I'm like, oh, that was him, So just kind of a cool, again, not a great film, but
A fun film.
A fun film. And also on your point, like what happened to the lady that gave him the letter. So watching that, and I don't know if they did this intentionally. I have no idea if this was even the plan, but my takeaway watching it, 25 plus years later, the lighting when he visits her store and she gives him that postcard and says, mail it, use the post box at the end of the street. There's like, she's got like this angelic glow, there's this backlight. She's kind of glowing at that point, and everything from that point on almost feels like a dream sequence. And then, fast forward, like they're captured, they get thrown in the dungeon. I did think it was kind of funny that the villain, Kato, Christopher Lee, he didn't kill them. He didn't remove their hearts and turn them into birds. What does he do? He sends them to their room without dinner. They comment on the fact that they're going to spend the longest night in the darkest dungeon, and by morning they're going to be a little pile of white bones. They're going to starve to death. You broke into the dude's house, and the worst you're going to get is he's sending you to bed without dinner. And it kind of leads me to think like, okay, did Neo die at some point? Did he go home and mean Aunt Edna killed him for bringing home salted crackers? Or is this all just in his head? Because it is outlandish. They name things like, the dark forest and the bread to satisfy all hunger. It's pretty generic, like from a kid's point of view. So I can't tell if it's a dream. Yeah.
I was waiting for that the entire movie. Like at the end, I was like, this is all going to be like in his head, like a dream. And he's going to wake up, and I don't know what the ending was going to be, but I for sure thought this was like a dream he was having. I kind of got that vibe from him.
And I definitely want to say something real quick with, because Jesse mentioned this, and as like a father's perspective, and I'm kind of going back, what dad just lets their kid go off and fight someone known as the Dark Rider, the evil of the land, and not go with him? It's just like that really rubbed me the wrong way. And then Shope, as you said at the end, I mean, obviously he absorbs that fireball into his sword, and then he stabs him, and then like that random orange crystal comes out of him. What threw me off, and I let out an actual verbal laugh, it showed the bird that caught on fire, and the kid's just laying there like this, and I was just like, did I just see a dead kid?
That's
like,
what I thought.
I honestly thought that. I'm like, okay, I'm like, give me a second. And then it finally shows that kid later. I'm like, okay, the kid's cool. But I thought they just showed us a dead kid.
That's how I took that as well. I'm like, wait a minute, that bird burned to death, like, and just landed at the bottom of, on the edge of the beach. Like, are you telling us you're gonna turn that dead bird back into a dead kid? That's a little weird.
Exactly. I took notes while I was watching it, and one of my notes was that poor child bird.
I didn't think they
Oh,
I
were
do want
going
I
to.
oh,
I didn't think they were gonna show the kids at the end. I thought they were just gonna like move past it, and you just like assumed
uh,
everything was okay. So in my
yeah.
head, I was like, all those kids just, all those birds turned to kids from the sky and just like fell to their death.
I thought the same
That's
thing.
what I thought.
I thought the same thing.
But then you see
No,
them all
one
die.
thing. We were talking about Miss London and like how you said that show, how she was like glowing. One thing I did notice is that she was always very warm to him, so I felt like she was sent there to watch over him. I felt like she
Yeah.
was a protector in a way because the two times they came into her shop, she was very warm, inviting, and
Hmm.
even the second time when he left his home, he was cold, he was hungry. The
Dirty.
shop was open, it looked
Hmm.
bright, warm. She invited him in, gave him food, and then ushered him over there. So like that's one thing I definitely thought on later on. I was like, okay, I think because you see in some of these movies, like they have a protector between two worlds where they like kind of live between both those. And I fully expected to see her in the Land of Far Away as a different character, like Christian
Hmm.
Bale. But we didn't. Like I thought
Nope.
she was just gonna randomly show up, and I thought she was the old lady in the cabin for a moment, but then I realized it wasn't.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
She was
thought
like
too.
some, yeah, same. But no,
yeah.
I mean they gotta. It was, and I love the trope. It was some kind of like old witchy, gypsy woman like in the woods that sews them a magic cloak. Like again, it has elements that just for whatever it just hits. Like there are things about this movie where it's like it's got everything an 80s fantasy movie that you could ask for, but in terms of delivery, overall, it's not good. But for a kid, yeah, I mean, if you're just kind of wanting to introduce them and them get the basic concepts of, hey, this is kind of what fantasy is. Like, I think this is a great movie, for
Hmm.
any kid, really.
I think so
Yep.
too. Uh,
Um,
I
I
say,
was gonna
Jesse, I
go.
want to hear some more of your notes because I know you take a bunch. What's one thing that stood out to you, dude?
Uh, well, I'll just go through them real quick. I won't linger on them, but I'll just go through what I had. I love the music. It was from the Soviet orchestra. I thought the music
mhm.
just as soon as it started in the credits, I really liked it. I thought Miss London was an absolute smash. Yeah, smash. Next question.
She
Swing.
Uh,
can get it.
she could for sure. Aunt Edna was awful, terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
Thought that it had a very European style for a film. It
Hmm.
just felt very European to me. Uh, let's see. I like the traveling through space on the head. I'm just like, what a no one explains anything 80s fantasy film. It's just
Yep.
no one says it. It's just cool. You just accept that you're gonna fly through space on a head. And as soon as that happened, I was like, yeah,
We've all been there.
hell yeah. And then uh, I do like how unabashedly sentimental the movie was. Like seeing him cry in his room and then go see his dad and get a big hug at him. They don't know why he same thing. Like no questions, but whatever. And I like that they just seem to love each other a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, I thought Miramis was a badass name for a horse. Uh, I just wrote sick flute skills. I like their flutes. I thought that was
Yeah.
That
sweet.
song is stuck in my head, so thank you for that. Appreciate it.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. I counted. It plays a total of 6 times over the course of an hour and 50-minute movie.
Bro,
So yeah, I understand.
it's
Uh,
stuck.
turning kids into birds that are cursed to fly around his castle until it crumbles is super savage.
That
Yeah, I
is,
Yeah.
mean, how
dude. I
cool! What
agree.
a original. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Kato, the evil knight,
Hmm.
looks awesome. Like I thought he was just like traditionally like a cool '80s bad knight. Uh, his claw
His
I
little
thought was sick,
yeah.
dude. I love that thing.
Yep.
Uh, the fact that when anybody says his name, wind blows through. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, I like the world's longest bridge. Thought that was pretty sweet. I think somebody said, "Hold your tongue if you're tired of your life." I thought that was savage. I was like, "Damn."
Oh wow.
Mhm.
I like the sword. Let's see. Oh, I think Brian says the same thing. But when the kid falls, and then you thinking that Tum Tum's gonna pick him up, but it's the knight picking him up. I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was like,
Yeah,
"Damn."
yeah, that was a actual like shocker for me. I was like, "Oh my god, what the hell is that?"
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because you don't see him pretty much throughout the whole
Yeah.
movie. They show him like in the
Uh-uh.
wishing well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, the when they send him to the pit to starve to death, I thought that was fucking savage. I was like, and the fact that time didn't work the same or whatever, so they were gonna be dead by morning. I thought that was. I was like, damn. The cloak is cool. Uh, I like when he's invisible walking down the steps, and then you see dust on the stairs come up. I thought that was a really
Mhm.
good, like a good,
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
yeah.
I
And then
absolutely love that part because even the cobwebs moved, and the fact that he's just snickering with the torch as all those guys are like, "Mm,
yeah.
Yeah, I
I thought
like
that
oh,
was
that.
that's
I
such a
cool.
like
cool
that
thing
too.
to do."
And then the last things were, I loved that Kato was like, if you destroy me, someone just as evil will come in. And then the kid was like, if I destroy you, or if you destroy me, someone just as good will come in. And I
Mhm.
love that. I was like, what a great message. And then the whole him turning to stone and falling apart, I thought that was pretty cool too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I definitely want to mention because I think it's one of my favorite parts. I loved the Black Mountain when they're going to meet the Swordmaker.
I did too.
The
I loved
blacksmith,
that.
like
Yeah,
he's like my
the
favorite.
whole secret, same. And that was probably my favorite part of the movie is like, first off, like you could tell the whole entire world, like first the tree saves them and then the mountain saves them. Like they want them to succeed. So I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
love that, they found their way in, it closed up. Just the whole vibe inside there was really cool. I mean, yeah, they got lost. They played the flutes and found each other, again, stuck in the head. But the blacksmith, he was just really cool. And the fact that he said that he had been trapped there, chained to the mountain for 1,000 years working on this. And what a coincidence, he finished the sword that night.
Right.
Mhm.
They've been working on it for 1,000 years. And
Mhm.
like I'm the kid's just like, give me the sword. And I'm just like, can you say please? And he's just like, all
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
the fact that he like walked over and he's like, I'm gonna hit this anvil. But he did look to him like, can I do this? Sliced, and he's like, you're no longer gonna be needing that. I was also thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, why isn't Christian or yum? Why isn't he getting a
Yeah.
sword too, man? He's got to protect himself. But then I thought about it further. I'm like, he did explain that all the other swords were made to kill, was it innocence and everything. So that
Mhm.
that made sense. But Christopher Lee, when he was talking about the sword, he's just it made me laugh a little bit. He's like, this is the most dangerous sword I've ever held, and he's just like chucks it out the window. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
throws
well,
it.
yeah. I thought that part was just really funny, but the blacksmith was that whole scene was probably my favorite scene. I just thought it was really
Mhm.
really cool.
Mm-hmm. I also I didn't write the note. I forgot to, but that this could be just me interpreting something that's not there. But when he ends up killing Christopher Lee, there's almost like Christopher Lee has like a relief in him, like
Yeah,
almost like his stone heart was put there. Like it tells me that there's something worse than him out there.
I got that too.
He just works for it, and I
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
that added like a little seed of world building that this battle's over with, but there's probably something far worse out there.
Mhm.
Hmm. I got that too because yeah, there was definitely relief because he said finally my stone heart can rest. I believe was the line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And yeah, I got that same exact thing as well whenever he said that. Like he didn't want to be that person, but he was made that person.
yeah. Like they said he was a really valiant, honorable knight at one point, and he fell to something. And I was like, man, it's like seeing a paladin go bad. You know, he just went really bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think if I have
But
any other notes here.
let's see. Not really so much notes about the movie. Like, yeah, we pretty much covered most of it, I think. One kind of fun fact about the film. It was filmed in various locations, but they actually had to shut down filming for a month while they were filming scenes in Ukraine because of Chernobyl.
Oh.
And when they would come back and uh, they came back to finish the scenes, they actually had to have Geiger counters on set and make sure everything wasn't radioactive. So that was
Damn, that is
pretty.
crazy.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't. Like I said, I had no idea. It was filmed. Companies from Sweden, Norway, the Soviet Union. Um, but yeah, and it was also like we kind of said earlier, Christian Bale's very first appearance in a feature film, which a few years later he would go on to do. Help me out here, Jesse. Steven Spielberg.
He did two. He did Newsies and Empire and the Sun, right?
Empire in the Sun.
One, yep.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the one with Steven Spielberg where he witnesses the bomb in Hiroshima or whatever. Like, I haven't seen it in years. I can barely remember the title, but yeah. So this was his first role, and obviously a few years later he would go on to do other stuff. But pretty cool to see, you know, the original Christopher Nolan Batman as I mean, I think he was 10 years old, 11 years old in this film, something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think Empire of the Sun.
Yeah.
I think that's the one. I've never seen that one. I might have to check it out. But yeah, I thought that was a really good pick. I was interested because I have never heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I've never even heard you talk about it. And so when you said that, I was like super intrigued. And it was a cool, because we did Altar Boys, which is like a drama, and we did like a kind of a gothic ghost story, and then we moved into a fantasy film. So I thought it was kind of a nice rounding out of the three films we've done so far. I thought it was super different enough, but it also gives me insight into what you watched as a kid, you know, and I can see that, I can feel that, you know, it would have been something I would have liked to. It reminded me of when I used to watch The Hobbit, the animated one, when I was a kid. And
So
as a
good.
kid, yeah, I thought it was like the animation was so strange, but I loved it. It just sucks you in.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, glad you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's one I feel like you can, if you got little kids in your life, you know, and you want to put something on for them that maybe it may or may not hold their attention. I mean, it is pretty slow. I can even remember being a kid and watching it. And in the beginning, I'm just like, come on, get to the good stuff, which, you know, is pretty much in the forest, the mountain, and everything after. But yeah, it's a little slow burn at first, but once it picks up, I think I really I always loved it. I mean, it's not well received by any stretch of the imagination. The companies that made it don't appear to be happy with it. The author of the book kind of doesn't want anything to do with it, or you know, she did. She's passed since then, but whatever. Really kind of obscure, cool fantasy movie, I think. So I'd probably rate it a solid like 6.8 out of 10 would be my assessment. You know, it's not your Conans, it's not any of your classics of what you think when you think fantasy or sword and sorcery, but still worth people's time, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if we all agreed yet. This is off subject, but we were trying to think of a new name for the segment of the week or the subject of the week, and I think we decided, or at least I suggested, hey, what's the big idea, and just call it the big idea. Does everybody
Yeah.
like that idea?
Yeah, I'm down. I like
And
it.
then the second thing was whose movie of the week is it? Is it Blaine's this week?
Blaine
It is
picked
Blaine's this week.
Yep.
Did you have anything picked out?
I do. So yeah, you guys, you were talking about different like aspects with the sci-fi and the drama. Mine is a little bit different. It's like an adventure revenge type movie. You may have seen it, but it's one of my all-time favorites. It is 2002's The Count of Monte Cristo,
Okay.
with Guy Pearce and Jim
Leo.
Caviezel. Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
sure how
okay.
to say his last
Oh,
name.
Caviezel.
Yes, this movie, I have watched this at least 15 times. I love a good adventure movie. It's probably my favorite genre. So this movie just hits everything. I absolutely love it. So I hope you guys like it as well. I can't wait to actually talk about it just because I watched this on TV when I was, growing up. I believe I was in high school when I first saw it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So if you haven't seen it, I'm excited to hear what you guys your take on it.
That's a movie that I've heard all the time and never seen.
I hope you like it, man. I hope
Yeah.
you're gonna see some characters that I can't wait to see if you recognize them. So
Mhm.
that's a big one that I'm really really looking forward to hearing about next week.
That's cool. Not that they're the same thing or anything, but the kind of similar thing happened to me. Like last year, I finally sat down and watched The Man in the Iron Mask, and did
Mhm.
not and did not know that it was a Three Musketeers movie. So I'm like
Mhm.
watching it, thinking that it's just about a guy who gets locked in a mask and they escape. But then I find out it's like the Three Musketeers have retired and they're coming back out, and I was like, this movie's fucking awesome. I was like, how have I never seen this?
I'm gonna have to watch that again because yeah, that movie is fantastic. It's kind of got the same feel as that, honestly. So yeah, have you guys seen it? Anyone seen it already?
I read half the book, so
Okay, cool. Well, that is up on my server whenever you guys want to check it out. But yeah,
Dope.
hell
awesome.
yeah,
I'm excited
no,
for it.
I already know
Um,
that's gonna be a great pick. I mean,
yeah.
it's a classic. So
Mhm.
um,
I was gonna say I finished the Ghost Story book, and I didn't know if you guys wanted to know a little bit about it.
yeah, what'd you find
Yeah.
out? How is it
I
different?
won't. Yeah, I won't spoil too much, but it is vastly different. Like the beginning of the book and the end of the book is pretty much the main focus of the older men, the Chowder Society, but the rest of the book is like almost like a shape shifting entity with these like species that have lived amongst us forever, and they find us dull and boring. But the only times they find us interesting is when we're scared. So every book that's been written, like vampires and werewolves and things, have been inspired by these creatures, and then it feeds into itself because when we write about these scary fictional monsters, they take those forms to
Mm.
scare us more because
Oh.
we write about those things to help understand those things and put them in a way that we can grasp, and they use that against us. And the whole book is essentially the entire town is being ripped apart by these things throughout the months. And I was actually super impressed with it. It's very long, like and I wouldn't say it drags, but it's one of those things where you are introduced to like 20 different people, and so you just have to like keep in mind certain details about them. So when they talk about them, you take a second to like place who that must be. But then as
Mhm.
it goes on, you get used to it. But I recommend it. It's just a long one.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
It's kind of it like Pennywise is like a shape
Ooh.
shifting cosmic
Yeah.
Mhm.
entity that feeds on fear, and these things kind of feed on a little bit of guilt. They're like vampire like, where they drink blood and they eat people, and they have a lot of like hallucinatory abilities. Like, not to give too much away, but one character is in the woods and he sees all these pine needles off a tree, and he looks at it and it looks like a door, and he goes up and opens it, and he enters this world with all the things he's done in his life, like all these people he's known, and it just unravels his mind as the story goes on. So it's real trippy in a lot of those ways where you don't know sometimes if what you're reading is real or not. So
Mm.
Okay. That's
I
cool.
like those kind of stories.
yeah.
Very nice.
uh, and then I have a big idea for this week, but if somebody else wanted to go before me, they can.
And you said it's the new segment's what's the big idea, correct?
Yeah.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
You said the new segment's called what's the big idea?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, you go for it, man. I've got two kind of different areas if you want to introduce it, what we're discussing this week.
Okay. Just to give a little backstory, I used to go to the Finnegan's movie store all the time to rent movies, and they had on the wall when you walked in, they had all these NES, SNES, Sega, and Sega Genesis games, and like maybe like 40% of them, maybe 50%, were all based off of a movie, right? Like they had like Die Hard, Home Alone 2, things like that. And for whatever reason, that was like a big thing to do, like always have a game tie-in back then. But because like things were so limited, like graphics and gameplay and things like that, they had to be really creative with how they tied this game into a movie. So today's segment or this week's segment I call cartridge to cinema. And what you do is you pick a movie that you think would make a great NES or SNES or Genesis game, and you describe what the genre of the game is, what the kind of the core mechanics of the game would be like. Is it a platformer? Things like that. And like one scene from the movie that would translate well to the game. So I wrote an example out so everybody has an idea. I use The Mummy, and I would say that The Mummy would be like an action platformer. And at one point there would be like a top-down section where you're looking down at Brendan Fraser, Rick O'Connell, and it's that scene where he's in the airplane and they're going through the desert. So it would be like this: the game scene would be the airplane, and you're dodging stuff that's coming at you, like classic arcade style, and behind you is the big sand head chasing you, Mummy sand head. And so you got to shoot and take its health down. So like that would be kind of the main scene I would use to pitch it. So does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what the big idea of the week is.
But yes.
Yeah.
It's some layers that I'm gonna need to repeat it, but I love that. That's really, really cool.
I'll send it in the group chat just so everybody can read it and have a better idea.
Super cool. And I do think that would be a great game to play, like The Mummy on Super Nintendo.
Oh, I'd play it.
As long as we get Benny popping up here and there, that'd be great.
When I was thinking of it, I was thinking of like they took Die Hard and turned it into a SNES or NES game.
I played that.
On paper, it just sounds like it would be really easy, like it's just a shooting game. But they add this aspect to it where you have a health bar, and then underneath it you have a foot bar. And as you're walking in the game, you don't have shoes on, so there's glass on the ground. And so as you walk, you keep losing feet meter, and eventually you'll die if you walk on glass too much. And I thought, what a abstract but also really accurate way of putting that into the game.
Dude, that scene in that movie was in the bathroom and his feet are all cut up. Like, it just made me cringe. So, like, I love that so much because that scene really stuck out to me. And the fact that they even shot the glass because they knew he didn't have shoes on was even better. Like, that's awesome.
What a great movie.
Oh, so good. I watch it every year.
Is that everybody agrees it's a Christmas film?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ho 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 on the dude's shirt. It's Christmas party, quote unquote celebration party. Come on, it's Christmas movie.
And Gremlins, that's a good Christmas one.
Oh my god, every year as well.
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't either. Is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie? Doesn't it take place on Christmas?
It does take place on Christmas. Yeah.
I guess what.
I don't remember.
What classifies a movie to become a Christmas movie? Is it just that it has to take place on Christmas?
I think so, or like it has to be like mentioned, like something about Christmas. Like I don't know the whole rules behind it.
I was I was thinking about this today. Like because there are like the Christmas movies, and then there are movies I have that I watch in that season of like Christmas, like even if it doesn't have anything to do with Christmas, it's just that like good movie to watch when it's snowy outside, and it just gives you that like comfort, or I don't know what it is, but
Hmm.
What's one of your choices that you watch that you wouldn't say is Christmas, but you watch during the season?
um, what do I watch like every year? I don't know. I'm put on the spot. I'll think about it.
Hmm. I'm trying to think what
Mine's
I would.
probably The Thing, just because of the snow.
That's a good choice. Yeah.
Like it feels like Christmas, but it's a spooky Christmas.
Yeah, I do the same thing with Ghost Story because there's so much snow. I feel like I gotta
Hmm.
watch it. Hateful Eight. I watch Hateful Eight a lot,
Oh, what a
especially
Yep.
good movie!
So good.
we me and Brian saw that in theaters, and I remember I watched it and I thought that it was okay, and then I went back and watched it on Netflix, and I had the extended version, and
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed it after I watched it a second time. And I think maybe I was just kind of mad at first that Kurt Russell died, so I was like, "This movie's stupid." But then I went back and rewatched it, and I was like, "It's pretty fucking good."
It's
You
so
you
good.
heard about the whole scandal behind that, right?
No, go
Or the
ahead.
oh shit moment. So
Is it the
The
she's
guitar?
playing
guitar.
that. It's the
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that freaked me out. And the fact that that guitar was priceless, and you see her actual reaction because she's like freaks out, and you see her look off screen. I'm just like, oh my god, like that was such a cool thing to actually see. But yeah, I watched
Uh,
that I think 2 months ago, and it's such an amazing movie.
uh, who's this? I don't want to put anybody in the spot. If you can't think of one, it's whatever. But if you're watching something from way back in the day, is there a movie where you realized that there was an actor that became huge later that you had no idea was going to be in this, either a TV show or a movie? And the reason I bring it up is one, we just talked about Christian Bale, but two, I like Murder She Wrote, so I watch it all the time when I want to go to sleep or whatever. And I was watching an episode of Murder She Wrote, and there was a racist Civil War reenactor on it, and it was fucking Walton Goggins, and I was like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
He's just been playing a racist for at least half of his career.
Yeah,
Like
That's true.
Justified. I love his character in that movie or in that show.
yeah.
But I mean, I haven't finished Fallout season 2, but I mean, he's great in everything he does. Vice Principals. If you haven't watched Vice Principals, you should add it to the watch list.
so
So
It's
funny.
good.
It's so good.
it's so funny. It's got one of my favorite scenes in it when he's got those brass knuckles and he knocks out his neighbor, and then he wants to look real hard when Danny
In front of
McBride
his
walks
wife.
up and he punches that dude back in the head. He goes, "Sleep, motherfucker."
He's already asleep, but all right, he's going to nap for a long time now.
This is honestly, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but him in American Ultra with Jesse Eisenberg, he's the Lapper, the assassin
Hmm.
sent in, and just like he's just always batshit crazy, like in everything that he does, and just the way he portrays that. Even when he knocks his teeth out, he's just like talking with the lisp. Like I die every single time I watch that. It's so good.
Uh,
Fat Man. Did you guys watch that one with Mel Gibson?
yes,
Not yet.
that's really good.
It's good. I mean, say what you will, think what you will about Mel Gibson nowadays, but that movie was pretty awesome.
I'll have to watch
He's an
that.
old Santa Claus, and Walton Goggins grows up. He was wronged as a child, didn't get what he wanted for Christmas, and so he grew up to be a salty asshole assassin that's trying to kill Santa Claus, and it's pretty awesome.
Uh, Another actor that I see all the time in old stuff before he was big is George Clooney. I see him in
That
so much
Roseanne.
stuff.
that was gonna be my thing. Is Booker from Roseanne, George Clooney.
Hmm.
You see him in
Yep.
there. He's so young. You're like, whoa, holy hell.
Uh,
Um, I would say Joseph Gordon-Levitt from Third Rock from the Sun. Like
that's a good one.
That's a
I
really
used
good
to
one.
watch that show on Fox every night. Like um, went back and rewatched it pretty recently. Actually, I bought the whole series on DVD,
Nice.
and it's still holds up. It's still, like, in my opinion, one. There's too many great '90s and even '80s sitcoms, for that matter, to say it's like in my top anything. But it's up there. I mean, it's got
Mhm.
the full crew. It's just such a creative, funny show. But yeah, I would say Joseph
But
Gordon
Have
Levitt.
you seen that movie where he's like the bike messenger?
Yeah,
That is one of my
what's that?
favorite ones.
Rush,
Premium Rush. Premium
Premium
Rush.
Rush.
Yeah, that
Yes.
yeah,
movie's
That movie,
awesome.
it's so good. It's so underrated too. It's fantastic.
I
Mhm.
always like quote that it's like when the cop first like gets a hold of him and he's like eating that burrito and he like acts like he's like give me it, and there won't be any trouble. And he acts like he's gonna give him like the ticket or whatever. And he's like, hold my log, and like hands him his big ass burrito
Yeah.
and then just takes off. So anytime I'm like eating a burrito, I call it a log.
Heck yeah.
uh,
Jesse, to answer your question, I did have one that was younger that grew up, to be huge, and I watch it every year. It's Home Alone 3, and it's Scarlett Johansson. She's the sister in
Yeah,
the
Oh
movie,
shit.
and yeah, so like that right there, that I mean, her in both movies. I mean, I reference because I think I watch them at least once a year. It's Eight Legged Freaks and Home Alone 3. She's the sister in both.
she's yeah.
So that's a big one. Um, I also just want to ask this question because I know we're talking about this. Do we still want to discuss the week 3? What's the big idea?
Yeah.
It was a
Okay,
yeah. Go ahead.
no, because I know Jesse. I think you had something else to say. I just wanted to throw that in real quick because
no,
every single year I didn't realize it was Scarlett Johansson until I got older. I was like, holy crap!
I'm
I
gonna
I was like,
interrupt Jesse just while he's on that subject of Home Alone 3. Holds up. If you don't compare it to 1 and
So
2,
good.
it's a great movie. Home Alone 3 gets a lot of hate, but what a great
It
movie.
ain't that bad. It's good. That's the
So
yeah. It's
good.
not terrible.
Who doesn't want to drive a remote control car around their neighborhood, just like messing up burglars? Like that was
Yeah.
freaking awesome. And they have a parrot that talks shit, dude. I'm
Yeah.
there.
So
it-
good.
let, I was like completely fucking forgot. I was like, I wrote the notes out for that subject of the week, and I was like, what am I missing? And I was like, oh, this podcast is almost done. Let me print mine off real quick. So I'll go last. So let me grab mine.
Yeah, Blaine, since
Oh, you're
it's
good,
your
bro.
idea, kind of introduce the what's the big idea of the week?
Yeah, so the big idea of week 3 is favorite hero movie. And I let this kind of broad. It doesn't have to be superhero. It can just be, a hero-based movie. Me personally, I have like 2 non-superhero and 1 superhero movie. So I'm just gonna just say one right now, and if we have time, I'll talk about the other ones. But my favorite hero movie, and we already kind of mentioned this, is the 1999 The Mummy. I mean, Brendan Fraser, Shope, you and I talk about this all the time and reference it all the time. But I watch that at least once a month. I fall
Mhm.
asleep to it. When I'm sick,
Same.
I'll watch it. Like I watch the Mummy and just the swag that Brendan Fraser has in that whole entire film. Dude almost gets his neck broke. He hits it off with the hot lady in the film. He's just a straight
Mhm.
badass all the time. He wears the gun holster. He's got an arsenal with him constantly, and he can just get out of any situation. Plus, like, dude can take a hit and still keep moving. Like that
Mhm.
right there. Like I can't tell you how many times I watched The Mummy, but that is probably my favorite hero movie of all time. Like I
Blaine,
watch it so much.
Blaine,
Yeah.
you took my hero. I
So
had the
yeah.
same
I'm so
thing.
sorry, dude.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
That just shows how iconic and how great this guy is. Um,
Yeah.
one of my favorite things is whenever they're on that boat and he has that like leather rolled up like satchel
Yes.
bag or whatever, and he
Yeah.
lays it out, and
Exactly. Yeah.
he, like you said, he's just like ready for any situation. I mean, he's
Mhm.
in order for him to be like that, that means he's been there, done that, and he always comes out a man of his word. He didn't have to show up
Yep.
after, he got cut down, but he still showed up. He's
Yeah.
just so great. I love O'Connell.
Yes,
It-
and I think we mentioned it in a previous podcast. I've always wanted the sword from that movie, the Egyptian sword that he cuts down the priest with. Like I've
Yeah.
always wanted that. Sorry, I stole it, bud.
No,
Yeah, it's just
it's so great,
fantastic.
and
It-
I do see that movie going to be a weekly pick here, probably before too long.
Oh,
I would
so
love to
good.
do like a deep
it's
dive with you guys.
Hell
Yeah.
It's really
yes,
funny.
please.
Yeah.
It's really funny because my number one pick was Rick O'Connell. So
Yeah, I purposefully had to omit him from the list because I assumed we would all just be sitting here talking about Rick O'Connell,
That's
and
great.
it's like yeah,
Oh, I love that we're on the same wavelength with that. Oh my god, that makes me so happy.
I gave myself a lot of picks for that same reason. I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know who everybody else might pick. I was like, Colby would probably pick Rick. And then I was like, I don't want to guess, but I was like, Brian might pick Ash. So I took Ash out because I was like, I
Is
don't want
that
to do the
same?
same thing.
Fair.
So what's your two we're allowed two honorable mentions. What were yours, Blaine?
I don't want to steal anyone else's.
You
But
don't,
okay.
I'll
that's
do it.
fine.
All right, so my other non superhero like hero that I loved was Dredd. And this is going to be honestly like I love Sylvester Stallone's Dredd, but Carl Urban's Dredd.
Sure.
That movie, Shope and I saw
Perfect.
that in theaters, and it was just, dude. Him and I talked about that for like a month after, and we're still waiting for the second one to come out. Like I
Still
think I
have it.
watch that movie at least twice a year. My son 13 years old now. Like I started him into that. And he watched with me, and he's just like, "That was badass." I was like, "Bro, yes."
Yeah.
So yeah, that. Yeah, I don't know. Judge Dredd was he's just an all around badass.
That is such a good pick.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
I get someone to watch that movie if they've never seen it. I talk about it all the time. And I think there are really brutal, savage movies out there, but skinning people alive while they're on slow mo and then chucking them out the top of a building is
Oh my
probably
God.
one of the worst things I could ever think of.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Man.
Who's your other honorable?
So this was a superhero. And it's not necessarily the hero itself, it's the movie. I love Man of Steel. They say like it's not one of the best ones, but I just absolutely love that movie. Henry Cavill, I personally think was like the best overall Superman. I love how they portrayed him in that movie, and just the the graphics and everything like that. I really enjoyed that movie, and the fact that I know Superman is not my favorite hero, but the hope that he gives to people in that movie and just in general, like it always resonates with me in general because there's always so much crap going on in our world. We need hope, and every single time like I'm feeling like really down, I'll watch that and I just get a little sentimental, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
Superman is such a
that's
good
me.
pick.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Plus, it's Henry Cavill. I mean, dude, he's just body goals, dude.
Stud.
Man crush Monday, right there.
Yeah. No shame.
No shame at all. My wife knows this. She knows.
Yeah.
What you guys got?
Again, it's hard to pick so many, but one that jumps out of my list for sure. Alex Murphy, RoboCop.
No. I knew you were going to go that route. I knew it.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Dude
No.
overcomes programming. He overcomes death. He murks bad dudes in the coolest way possible, whether it's, dumping a vat of acid on them by, ramming them into a car, using a data spike as a shank. Like, I mean, yeah, RoboCop is totally easily in the top 5 for sure. But an honorable
You introduced me
mention.
to RoboCop.
Oh man, like it was one of those movies. Again, thank you, Grant. Well, thank you. Maybe Grandma watched the age restrictions, but definitely a movie I watched way too young. Fell in love with it. didn't understand half of it. The only thing I thought was cool as a kid was his full auto pistol. Just I mean, who didn't love the scene, the warehouse scene where he just busts in and it's a bunch of drug dealers and he's just taking them out right and left, no problems. They're trying to gun him down. Doesn't even phase him. He can ricochet bullets off the wall like it's RoboCop. He can do anything.
I fucking love
that
RoboCop.
movie. Love that movie. But one I want to throw out as an honorable mention. Two. First one's for obvious reasons. I'm gonna go ahead and throw our boy Snake Plissken on that list from the Escape from LA and New York series. A man who needs no introduction. And then the movie in general. Well, okay. Big Trouble Little China. Again, another Kurt Russell, but totally different character than Snake Plissken. Arguably the sidekick in his own movie.
Old Jim.
But the final honorable mention, just want to throw it out there because not sure if too many people have seen it. If you have, it's probably been a while. I haven't seen it in years. Do you guys remember the movie Tall Tale?
Yes.
Disney flick. Patrick Swayze, Roger Aaron, Oliver Platt. It is about this kid whose family farm is getting ready to get sold off, and he gets kind of swept up in this arguably imaginary adventure, but it's Pesos Bill, John Henry, and Paul Bunyan.
I have seen this when I was a kid one time.
It's a Disney flick, early 90s Renaissance, back when they were doing like Tom and Huck and a bunch of probably direct to VHS movies, but just a movie that takes all the old folk heroes, like early US folk heroes, and throws them into one film. And they couldn't have cast it any better. It couldn't have been a more fun story. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that one on the list as my final honorable mention.
That's awesome.
I love that.
And it's funny.
Man.
It's funny you said Big Trouble Little China. That's who I thought your number one was going to be.
Yeah. It was hard, man. It's hard. Those numbers. I mean, take Ash, Rick O'Connell. Like, it just depends on the kind of mood I'm in,
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just, yeah. Again, we could talk about that subject for hours because there's just too many memorable characters out there on film to be like, this is my favorite. Like, well, depends on the day. So
it does, yeah. What about you, Colby? What's yours?
So
Can I throw in one thing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Never mind.
No.
This is one thing I found out about Escape from LA, and I know you also love that show because Bruce Campbell's in it. The basketball scene where he's actually shooting the hoops. I didn't know this, but he practiced like crazy because he wanted to actually shoot and make those shots. So everything getting him hit the full court, that is Kurt Russell. Just a random fact that I found out, and I thought that was freaking cool as hell.
That is cool.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Gold. My bad.
So my original pick, The Mummy, of course. We covered that. My last two, my honorable mentions. I got kind of like a anti-hero, if you want to call it. I got Blade.
Hell yes.
Super
he almost made my list.
Fucking badass dude fighting vampires. What's not to love? And then my last one, the only Police Chief Brody from Jaws. I mean,
dude,
this guy's a stud, man. He's scared of the water and he still gets out there. I mean, he's just an awesome character that, I mean, I still watch Jaws like every year. It scares me. I wouldn't go out there, There's no fucking way. So
no, there's no reason
that movie. Dude, Colby, this is how. So my dad, I couldn't swim. He had me watch Jaws, and he would throw me into the pool, and he said, "Get to the other side before I pull you under." So I get about halfway, he would dive under, and if I didn't make it to the other side, he would grab my ankle and rip me underneath the water. So that's how I learned how to swim, and I'm still afraid of Jaws. Like I have a
Mhm.
fear of sharks. I think they're beautiful,
They're just
but
gonna
sharks terrify me because of that film.
Same. Like, I'll be in freshwater, like at the beach, and I'm like, "Fuck,
Yeah,
Jaws is in here. I know it."
yeah,
and
yeah,
not
like, I
that
don't
the
trust this. I
goddamn
can't see the
alligator
bottom,
close
so
It's so scary. That movie terrifies
Oh
me,
my
but I
god.
love it. It's such a good film.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, those are my honorables.
Mine was Rick, but my honorables are Conan, because I mean it's hard to beat Conan as a hero. He's like he's kind of like Rick in the sense that Rick will do Rick is a hero in the sense that he's pretty well self-interested, but he's still a good
Mhm.
guy. And Conan is similar in the sense that he's self-interested, but he's also just like he's just so revenge filled and angry, and he
mhm.
just holds on to the fact that his parents were slaughtered and he was put on the wheel of pain for years, and it just fucking made him who he was. And that movie is so awesome because it really doesn't have that much dialogue. Uh, and casting James Earl Jones as like a Thulsa Doom is fucking awesome. And then feeding people to giant snake monsters, and like Conan just looks at it and he's like so disgusted, and then he just like goes down there and just slays their god, and I'm like,
Yeah, like it's nothing.
what a fucking animal, dude! He's so good, and it's like magic is so powerful, and he just fucking doesn't care.
Mhm.
Like I
He
love
doesn't
that.
understand it. He just knows he needs to smash it, so it's
Yeah.
gotta go. I love that
Uh,
movie.
my other honorable mention is the man with no name, Blondie, from uh the Fistful of Dollars, Good,
Uh-huh.
Bad, and the Ugly, and For a Few Dollars More trilogy. Uh, I think that he's similar to the my other two, where he's more self interested, and he's more of like a hero who is just uh he happens to just be the only person there at the time who can stop whatever's happening. And
Mhm.
he's just always slicker than everybody else who's involved. And it's Clint Eastwood, so he's just effortlessly cool. And the way he delivers dialogue and looks like, oh, like just over the top of his cowboy hat, it's just so fucking awesome. Like, it's
Mhm.
hard to beat that fucking dude. And
Yeah, for sure.
I just think that he's just super slick. Like he's like I think the perfect anti-hero. Like he's like the perfect predecessor to anti-heroes.
Mhm.
Uh, and I did have one. I know it's kind of cheating to have another honorable mention, but I have to throw
Ah,
Sarah Connor in there because
Okay.
Nice.
uh, she every time I see her, I'm like filled with a lot of blood flow to my penis, but I'm also like but I'm also like super it's like super you have so much respect for her when you watch her,
Yeah.
and like you trust her. When I watch her, I always think like if I was in that film, and it's like her real maternal instincts, like her as
Yeah.
a mother. Like she's
yeah.
not just the mother of John Connor, she's like the mother of the resistance, and like she's the mother
Humanity,
of
really.
humanity.
Yeah.
And seeing every time I watch T2 and I see her get blown up by the nuke, and she's like watching the kids play.
Oh,
Oh man, just thinking about it right now gets me kind of choked up. And it's like you know that she is just fueled by pure parental protection. And
Mhm.
dude, when she I got goosebumps just thinking about it. But when she like leaves John to go kill old boy who starts the whole
mhm.
Cyberdyne thing,
Cyberdyne, yeah.
and she's just bloodthirsty, and she puts everything behind her. I'm going to kill this fucking dude. And then she misses and sees the kid, and then everything comes undone. Dude, she's fucking awesome.
Yep.
hmm
I love that.
Great list. I mean, yeah.
Dude,
Again,
these lists were fantastic.
uh-huh. And I think,
Uh,
I mean, we can, since we're definitely, are we technically restarting the rotation on films? Have we all picked at least
after,
one film?
yeah,
Yeah.
Blaine's is next, and then after that,
Okay. Suggestion, just because it's come up so much, and I think we're all kind of in agreement. After Blaine's next pick, obviously the Count of Monte Cristo, I think we should just go ahead and tackle the Mummy.
I'm fine with that.
No, I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
it's just kind of a perfect movie. I think we've all seen it enough times, but I'm probably going to watch it again between now and then, maybe twice. So I think we should, after Blaine's next week's, we should go ahead and tackle the Mummy.
we could do like a like after rotation, we do like a community movie or something. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'll watch it together on something. Dude.
yeah, and it doesn't count as like someone's pick. It's just like we all agree to watch this, and then we can talk about it and review it, and
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I think
something
that's,
that
Agreed.
that's a really
we've
good
all
idea.
seen before, or something that we've just this movie's so good we have to do it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good idea. And what did you all think about doing like once a week, or I'm sorry, once a month, we do like a short film thing where we all pick a short film to watch?
Oh yeah, that would be cool too.
Did I
Yeah.
send that in group text? I forget.
I don't remember, honestly. I don't remember hearing about that.
Maybe I didn't send that in. I'm sorry. I thought I did. I was. I talked to Colby about it, and we were saying that we could once a month pick a short film. We all pick one and just watch them, and then we can do the same thing just with short films. And I don't think one person has to pick it. I think all four of us can pick a short film, and we can all just watch them, and
Cool.
then take a little notes. And then I thought something could be fun once in a while. I found all my old short films that I made with Colby and Brian, like Iraq Nimbus. We can watch one of those, and
Yes.
then we
I
can
still got all
review that.
mine dumped on my drive, so yeah.
Yeah, then we can review it and just kind of shit on it or be respectful, whatever you want to do.
Oh man, I'm down. That sounds awesome.
But yeah, that Count of Monte Cristo and the Mummy. Man, I'm fucking pumped, dude.
Yeah.
So excited. This is gonna be
It's
awesome.
going to be some good watches.
It's gonna be a long week.
I know it always is.
I'm
I mean,
probably
we
gonna
could always
watch the
do it
Mummy like
Friday.
right when I get off here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Probably.
Real quick, just because I can't help it, but bring it up. You brought up Superman. Superman was on my list as like a potential, but the other one was Steve Rogers. Like, there's nobody better than Steve Rogers. And I
He
just
lifted
didn't.
Thor's hammer.
I just didn't pick him because I thought he was too obvious. But I just feel like that's like the perfect hero. And I just think he's so good.
That's who I thought
He's
you
up
were
there
gonna
with
go
you.
with. I thought that was
Mhm.
gonna be your pick.
I tried to pick stuff that was not everybody was going to pick, so I left him off. But I almost regret it every time. I'm like, I see his name because it's like I'm not picking Captain America because anybody can be Captain America, but no one can be Steve Rogers.
No,
I
that is
agree.
true.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
And
Absolutely,
I'm
because every single
super.
time he's on screen, like you feel the hope. Like no
Yeah,
matter what's going through, just his tagline, "I can do this all day." That's
yeah,
someone that's gonna fight for you until he's dead. And he literally, standing alone against Thanos' army, and still was about to go mess it up. Yeah,
dude, it was
Mhm.
awesome.
100%.
What a beast!
I remember seeing that in theaters, and I've never felt that in a film before.
Wow.
Like the feeling when he picks up Thor's hammer and like
Mhm.
Oh my god.
every time.
Yeah,
It
the
still takes
theater
you back to the
erupted.
theater.
Yeah.
Just the feeling of that, like, oh my god, I still get chills every single time. I'll see clips of it of people reacting. I'm like, that's how my theater was, and I still remember the feeling I had when I saw that for the first time. It was just like we all knew, from Avengers Ultron. Like he kind of moved it, and Thor got like we knew. Come on, but the fact that
He
he
full
actually
on
did
caught
it
that
and put
thing.
it
Like,
down on
yeah.
Thanos. Oh man.
The look on Thor's face when it moves is so fucking funny, dude.
It is so
You know,
funny.
he's like, I got this, and he's just like, I dropped it. I'm not gonna embarrass Thor. Sorry, go ahead, Colton. My bad.
No, anytime that that scene like comes up on like TikTok or Instagram or something, I stay for because specifically for that like facial reaction of like, oh shit, is he about to pick it up? It's so funny.
It is.
So good.
Well, I gotta go put that boy to bed. So you want
All
to sign us
right.
off, Colby?
Yeah, what another great episode, man. That was super fun. Brian, great pick on the movie. Excited for next week. We got did we decide
Yeah.
are we doing The Count and The Mummy? Like what how are we doing this? We're doing The Mummy after The Count?
The Mummy after.
After The Count. Okay. I guess I got to watch it twice then. But
Yep.
no,
shucks.
another great episode, guys. That's awesome. I love how this is coming together. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and that's another episode of the Gunks, baby. Woo! Let's do it.
See y'all.
Until next
See
time,
you
boys.
guys.
Bye.
Laters.
Later.